The Phillies juggernaut continues in Miami. 5 straight wins. They won 15 out of 21 games. It's better than 700 winning percentage. So all of a sudden, they're the Phillies that we were used to. May, June, beginning of July. Ricky Pitalico, Ben Davis, I'm Michael Barkan, Ruben Amaro Jr. to come in a moment, as this is Phillies Postgame Live, presented by Cure Auto Insurance. Most impressive thing to you about this win tonight?
They just went out there, played. You know what? Ranger, I think, battled himself a little bit, and I thought he threw the ball well. I think he mixed up his pitches extremely well. I wouldn't say it's the biggest thing that stuck out to me. I thought Bryson Stott swung the bat extremely well. But I mean, the Phillies were patient. Their at bats were patient. They got some pitches to hit. But these are the games you're supposed to win. I know you just blew this up like they're playing 700 baseball again.
No, 700 in the past 21 games. I'm not talking about the Marlins.
All right, relax.
Okay.
Relax. Take a deep breath, for crying out loud. But I'm just saying, you're playing the Marlins. You should beat up on this team. You know what? I showed you you take a look at this batting order. They should beat up on this ball club, and it's fine. They did the job tonight. You win the ball game. That's what you take out of it. It's a win. You come back tomorrow. You beat them again. Then you come back on Saturday. You beat them again. Then on Sunday, after you beat them again, then you can come home.
You relaxed? Am I relaxed?
I may not be right now.
I don't think you are. But let's go across to Ben. Benny!
5 through 9 really got it done tonight. 6 hits between those guys in the lineup, 5 through 9 and 4 RBIs. Obviously Stott and Clemens with some big nights, but you're going to need that, especially when the top isn't producing. When Kyle Schwarber, the only one at the top that had a hit, and with a resounding double to right field early on in that ball game. But the bottom really coming through. You'd love to see that, the length of this lineup.
Cody.
You like that? Didn't like to play a third. Sorry. Let's go to Ruben Amaro Jr., who is in Miami right now, called tonight's game with Tom McCarthy. There he is. What's up, buddy? All right, tell us your thoughts first on Ranger Suárez, because we mentioned in the pregame program what had befallen him in his previous 2 starts, where he gave up just 1 run, looked great, and then 4, not so much. Tonight he went back to himself again.
Yeah, I was a little concerned about just his durability, because the last two times out, since he'd come back from that the back spasm, is that he's sort of hit a wall somewhere and has not been able to get too long. And then when he started off this game, his velocities were down pretty considerably, and so the light bulb kind of went off in my head a little bit, like, hey, what's going on here? But he did locate his stuff. He made his pitches. He was working that ball on the inside part of the plate on right-handers. And he mixed it up nicely, and I think his velocity and some of the life on some of his pitches got a little bit better as the game went on, but did a nice job. And I mean, how about that bullpen, man? I mean, the bullpen continues to pitch extremely well. I think they only had 1 earned run that they gave up, 2 runs, but 1 earned. Just a nice job. They're not walking people. They're throwing strikes. They're making guys swing the bat. Really love what Orion Kerkering's doing, and that's really big for the Phillies to have that bullpen clicking.
Ruben, I mean, the Phillies only had 7 hits tonight. They scored the 5 runs. They did have 6 walks, so we saw some patient at-bats at least, or at least some at-bats with some pitches that weren't even close. But, I mean, is this the kind of game you kind of expect after a long flight? I mean, it almost seems like they weren't quite fired up for this game exactly, but they got the job done.
I mean, listen, they did get the job done, and they played good, solid baseball. They had the 1 error, obviously, but I have to say that it's hard, and it sounds like a crazy excuse. It's pretty dead in this ballpark. I mean, there's not a lot of people here. There are probably more Philly fans behind our dugout, the Phillies dugout, than there were in the entire ballpark, and it's just, it's one of those places where you sort of have to make your own energy. And fortunately for the Phillies, Ranger held them down for several innings so that they can put that crooked number up there. But you got to get the big base hits, and it was great to see Cody Clemens come through again, and Bryson Stott swinging the bat more consistently now, and came up with a big home run. So, hey, you got to win the ball games. You got to play them. And I know it's not the best Marlins team. There's no question about that. But you got to get yourself fired up enough to win these ball games, and they did the job.
Ruben, I got to stick with my catchers. JT Realmuto, 1 for 3 on the night, average up to 262. What are you seeing out of him that makes him a little bit more consistent right now at the dish?
I just love the way he's getting his foot down early, and his path to the baseball, he's working, really flat. The one base hit he had to right field today, pretty impressive. High fastball, gets his foot down and just kind of levels off on it. And when he's taking that kind of approach, we talk about it with a lot of our guys, that when they're using the middle of the field and then driving the ball the other way, they're really good hitters. And I can't say enough about JT and how he runs the game. I know that Ranger did not have his best stuff, especially early, and kind of managed him through that. And he's just done. I think he's matured a lot, Ben, over the last few years, even, of being able to call games and understand hitters and understand his pitchers and what they can and cannot do. And I'm just really impressed by the way that he has developed as a player. He's not only one of the most athletic, but he's also now become one of the more cerebral catchers, and that's been impressive for me.
Ruben, you talked about manufacturing your own energy. That's what the Phillies had to do. They are now 84-56. They're tied with the Dodgers for the best record in baseball. They are now 7.5 games up on the Atlanta Braves. If the Braves lose to Colorado, which looks like it could happen, they're trailing 3-1 in the bottom of the ninth. Should that happen and the Phillies lead goes to 8 games, you ready for this one? The Phils could play 500 ball for the remaining 22 games of the season, and the Braves would have to go 19-3 from here on out. So let's not kid each other. They're going to win this thing almost assuredly. What do they need to do, though, to keep manufacturing their own energy?
Well, I mean, they just and this is what they take on the personality of the manager in a lot of ways, and this is what Rob Thomson talks about. Just win today's game. Concentrate on doing your job today, and worry about all the other stuff. Don't worry about all the other stuff other than worried about winning this baseball game today. It was a little bit like how Charlie Manuel used to manage it, and that works really well in baseball because it is a long season. And you can't really think about what's going on, what happened in your past 10 games, and you can't think about what's going to happen in the next 10 games. You got to really concentrate on doing your job at hand, the one that you can control. And right now, I'm sure that they're prepping mentally for tomorrow's game, and how to deal with Cabrera, who's a very good pitcher tomorrow, and making sure that they play their best baseball behind Zach Wheeler. That's how you do it, Michael. You concentrate on playing that game that day and then let everything else take care of itself.
I'll just worry about the remaining games in the last 10 games. I'll do all that for them. All right,
yeah,
buddy.
You do the worrying.
I'll do the worrying. Thanks so much, my friend. Check you tomorrow. Ruben Amaro Jr. in the booth. See you later in Miami. Look at this. Best record in the records in the National League, Ben. And Ricky, 84-56. The Phillies tied with the Dodgers atop the NL. Brewers 3 games back. Padres, etc. Top 2 division winners receive buys right to the NLDS. That's important. You want to get that and not have to play earlier than necessary. The Phillies are sitting pretty there.
Yeah, 1-2 will be beautiful. There's that one team you still got to worry about below you is the Brewers. You have a head-to-head matchup coming up with them in the middle of this month. So that's one series you got to kind of keep one eye open to. And, I mean, this is something that's going to keep the Phillies' competitive juices flowing throughout the whole time. Because if the Dodgers are right there, you're still going to want to take down the Dodgers as much as you possibly can. And if it takes you to the last game of the season, then so be it. You're not going to sit back and say, okay, I just want, we'll take second or third. No. You want that number 1 seed. You want to be the home field advantage. So
you don't have, in a manner of speaking, you don't have your eye on the division. You have your eye on the entire National League. Yeah. The division's a foregone conclusion.
Without a doubt. The whole kit and caboodle.
Braves just lost, by the way.
Yeah, you got to keep your eye on the prize. And now it's, down to 15 games? There's the magic number for the Phils down to 15 with the Braves losing 3-1 tonight to the Rockies. Yeah, I think ultimately you want to have these guys are very prideful in what they do, and they're fierce competitors. I always talk about their professionalism, But this is a team, I think, that they really are looking for that top spot, and they want to make sure they go out and get it and get that first round bye, obviously, and then also, hopefully get some home field advantage throughout the playoffs.
That would be fantastic. Do you consider him back, if you
No.
will, Ben? No,
No.
Ricky says
God,
no,
God.
Ben says no.
No, I think I'm still going to see a little bit more velo. You look at the pitches thrown, 82, just 48 strikes, very un-Ranger-like. But the walks, can't do that. Can't walk guys in 2 tonight in the 5 innings, but it is a little worrisome, I'll be honest with you. And not that velocity is everything, but he was able to locate, you talked about that curveball, he threw a curveball 24% of the time tonight. He was kind of falling, he threw a couple at 70. So you talk about a 70-mile-an-hour curveball at times, a 90-mile-an-hour fastball. But the fastball, it does concern me a little bit because
it should.
Because when you're throwing 93 to 95, you can get away with that one in the middle of the plate every now and again. But when you're throwing 90, you can't get away with that pitch in the middle of the plate.
So
you have to be perfect.
Is this diminishing returns, or do you think next start he's going to be okay?
You don't know. You really don't know. I don't know. Look, he had that back issue.
Mm-hmm. And he did a little one of these,
And the one thing about that is, when do you get back to normal? Do you get back to normal this year? It's a question that we're just going to keep answering from game to game. I look at this game tonight and I said, okay, Ranger's a pitcher. He knows how to pitch. That's all I'm taking out of this one. Am I happy with his velocity? The answer would be absolutely not. Was his curveball really good? Yeah, it was pretty good. Was his changeup good? Yes. His location was good at times, but I mean, like Ben said, I mean, his balls to strike ratio, not good enough.
All right, let's take a look at the National League East standings. The Braves lose tonight to Colorado, so the Phillies lead goes to 8 games. And as mentioned a few moments ago, the remaining 22 games, if the Phillies go 11-11, the Braves, which is .500 baseball, you know they're going to do way better than that. The Braves would have to go 19-3 to force a tie for the division.
Oh, is that all?
That's it.
Braves are done.
So the Phillies' magic number to clinch is 15.
Wow, you went there.
Phillies' eye on the prize
19-3. Good
is
luck.
the Los Angeles Dodgers, and that top record in baseball, they are tied atop the NL with the Dodgers. Dodgers idle tonight. Here's manager Rob Thomson on this win.
What do you think of Ranger?
That was good. Velo was down a little bit tonight, but he pitched. And him and Wheeler and Nola and even, well, Sanchez had his Wheeler all year, but those guys, they know how to pitch, and they know how, when they don't have their good fastball, how to change speeds and get chases. And but I thought his stuff was really good.
Seemed like he got a lot of swing and miss with the curveball, the changeup. Did he pitch backwards a little bit?
A little bit, you know, and I think he used more of his secondary pitches than he normally does, just because he didn't have the velo. So he's smart. He knows what he's doing out there.
Did you consider leaving him in for more than 82 pitches, or are you still trying to?
Our limit was 90, so I didn't want to send him out for one hitter, and I felt like he was good right there, and we can probably go to 95, almost 100 next time out. So he did his job, and bullpen did a nice job. There were a couple unfortunate things that happened. You know, the ball gets stuck in Stott's glove, and you know, Clemden set his feet, kind of threw on the run, and the ball popped out of his hand. But yeah, they all threw well.
He's not a high velo guy anyway, but I mean, is he still building that back? Is that
Ranger? Yeah, I think so. And I think you're going to see a little bit. I hate the terminology, but a little bit of dead arm, you know, coming out of this thing, no rehab start, and he's kind of building at this level, and sometimes that's tough, but he knows how to pitch.
With Stott, how much do you like what you've seen from him offensively?
Yeah, his at bats lately have been really good. He's keeping the ball low to left and really grinding at bats, and then, you know, every once in a while he'll catch one out front and hit it high to right. So it's nice to see him hit the ball at the ballpark. He's been really solid for us.
What do you see from their starter, Adam Mahler?
He's got pretty good stuff. You know, the both breaking balls are pretty good, and the fastball's got some carry to it. Yeah, he was fine, and I know he's been pitching pretty well for him.
Going back to Ranger for just a second, considering how his last start was, where he pitched so well for 2 innings and then lost it so quickly, not that you lost confidence in him, but were you kind of interested to see what he would give you tonight?
Yeah, it was, and you know, like I said, the velo wasn't normal, but he really pitched. I thought he pitched better tonight than he did the last time. So we're making progress.
I know that.
So if you had to nitpick this game, because they did win 5-2, what would you have liked to see aside from?
You didn't score 10 runs. I mean, that's the only thing. I mean, I thought, you know, you get walked 6 times in a game. You only had 7 hits. Not a lot of clutch hits in the game, but you win a game 5-2, and it was a yawner. Come on, let's face it. This game was a yawner. Yes, it wasn't one of those games where we were jumping up and down the whole time. Really?
It was very, yes.
Tom LeMaine thought it was exciting too.
TL, what's up, buddy?
But let me tell you, if I'm watching this team, I'm thinking, all right, let's destroy them tomorrow, because I think you have to get that out of your heads that you're playing in the dungeon with nobody there, and then once that's out of your heads, you just play a baseball game.
All right, let's go down to Miami once again. Here's Ranger Suárez on his outing tonight.
You certainly got a lot of swing and miss with your breaking stuff. Was that kind of by design?
Sí, sí. Estaban trabajando bien los pichos quebrados, porque deja de tirarlos si están trabajando, si están haciendo el trabajo, obviamente uno sigue lanzándolo para tener el resultado que tuvimos hoy.
Yeah, I tried my breaking balls today, and they were working. We were getting the results that we wanted, so why stop throwing them? I mean, if they're working, we just keep throwing them and make them do things, making things happen.
Because of how your last start ended, were you excited to get out there today and kind of get that behind you?
Sí, como te fue la semana pasada en tu última salida, tú que estabas emocionado por salir hoy y dejar la última salida por atrás.
Sí, sí, para eso trabajo los 4 días antes de montarme al montículo. Olvidar las malas salidas y crear algo nuevo para tener mejor salida, y eso fue el resultado de hoy.
That's why we work all those days before getting back on the mound. That's to leave the bad starts behind and create new things and better things and make them happen when we go out and start again.
Your velo was a little bit down today. Was there a reason behind that, or just normal working back from injury?
No, obviamente uno todo el tiempo no anda al 100%, eso es lo que tenía hoy. Obviamente trabajé con eso, salió el resultado, estaba todo bien, gracias a Dios.
Obviously, you're not always 100% with your velocity, so that's what I had today. I worked with it, and it worked well, and luckily, and with that, we had the results that we wanted.
For you, what does it say about kind of your experience and kind of your understanding of the game, that you're able to navigate that and lean on those secondary pitches more?
Sí, ¿qué significa para ti que tú puedas depender de esos otros pitcheos que tú tienes cuando tú no tienes toda la velocidad contigo, o que tú puedas trabajar con diferentes velocidades y como quieras hacer?
Sí, la experiencia que uno va teniendo año tras año te van ayudando a saber cómo lanzar cuando pasan estos días. Obviamente uno quiere estar todo el tiempo al 100%, no sucede porque somos seres humanos, pero todo bien, gracias a Dios. Eso fue lo que había hoy, con eso trabajé.
I mean, the experience that we get season after season, year after year, tells us how to pitch whenever we're not 100% with our velocities in the game, and that's obviously you always want to have that 100% of yourself or for your velocity up behind you, but unfortunately that's just not going to happen every single outing. I mean, we're human, we're people, so that's what I had today, and I'm glad it worked out. It went great, and we got the results.
From a stamina standpoint, 72 pitches to 78 to 82. Do you feel like you're where you want to be with maybe 3 or 4 more starts left?
Sí. El plan hoy era 90 picheos, tiré 83 creo en el quinto inning. Me sentí bastante bien, yo creo que vamos en una dirección buena.
Yeah, the plan was to go 90 pitches. I think I pitched 83 through the 5th inning, and I felt good. I think we were headed towards a great direction.
It was a radically different lineup today than he's probably faced this lineup before. Any different approach when it comes to that?
Sí, un lineup muy diferente del que tú te has enfrentado anteriormente. alguna forma de hacer las cosas diferentes cuando te cambian el line-up así de...
Sí, obviamente se ven videos cómo lanzarle a cada quien. Eso fue lo que hice hoy, a ver cómo le podía trabajar a cada uno de ellos y se dio el resultado.
Yeah, obviously we watch many things and we evaluate things. So we watch video on how to approach hitters, and that's what I did today. And you know, just watching a little bit, checking the data, and see how we could go after that.